The ice was solid beneath their boots, stretching out like a glassy desert. The Antarctic wind howled around them, hollow and mournful, as if it carried the anguished cries of the long dead. Dr. Elaine Henderson, the leader of the expedition, tightened her scarf and stared ahead. "We're getting close," she said, her voice barely audible above the gale. "The ship should be just over this ridge." Her team followed wordlessly, their breath mingling with the cold air, forming spectral clouds. They were modern-day explorers, a peculiar mix of scientists, historians, and adventurers, driven by the promise of discovery. As they crested the ridge, their eyes widened in awe and horror. There, encased in a cathedral of ice, was a Viking longship, its dragon-headed prow jutting defiantly toward the sky. The ship, perfectly preserved, was a relic from another time, a remnant of a 1,000-year-old expedition gone awry. Ben, the team's historian, whispered, "My God, it's real." Elaine nodded, eyes glistening with excitement. "Let's set up the extraction gear." Hours later, surrounded by floodlights and armed with ice picks and lasers, the team began their meticulous work. Little did they know, their actions were stirring something ancient and malevolent. As the ice around the ship's hull began to thaw, strange things started happening. The temperature dropped further, if that was even possible, and the wind now whispered in Old Norse tongues. Visions of battle and death flickered at the edges of their consciousness. Elaine tried to dismiss it as the effect of the cold and isolation, but the others were less certain. "There's something wrong here," muttered James, the physicist. His breath had started to form frost even on the inside of his mask. That night, as the team huddled in their tents, the real horror began. A blood-curdling scream shattered the silence. Elaine jolted awake, her heart pounding. She rushed outside to find Ben staring at the ship, eyes wide with unspeakable terror. "They're awake," he whispered hoarsely. Shadows moved on the deck of the Viking ship, ethereal figures clad in ancient armor, their eyes glowing in eerie blue. The spirits of the dead warriors had risen, awakened by the disturbance. They advanced toward the camp, weapons drawn, faces twisted in rage. Elaine and her team stood frozen, paralyzed by fear. The leader of the spectral warriors stepped forward, his helmet adorned with horns. His voice echoed like thunder. "Trespassers," he growled, "you have awakened us, and now you shall join us." His words were a curse, sealing their fate. The spirits closed in, their cold, ghostly hands reaching out. One by one, the explorers felt their life force drain away, consumed by the vengeful spirits. By morning, the Antarctic was silent once more. The Viking ship stood still, its cursed cargo now including the souls of modern explorers who had dared to uncover its secrets.